Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Macorcast, your source for news and entertainment with the minds behind Macro Records. We are your hosts. I'm Madsen.
I am Downlow'd.
And we are very excited to have you here for another special episode this week.
It's been another long and loathsome week. So difficult. It's harder every day.
A little bit of macro news.
The pain.
The track you're hearing this week, the first one that you're hearing, that you heard before the podcast, is Move Your Feet, the Aylin remix. And it's a hearty trap beat. Go pick it up today, exclusively on Beatport.
It's a hearty trap beat.
The track that you're
trap.
The track that you're gonna hear at the end of the podcast is Move Your Feet, the Downlow'd remix from yours truly, my co-host, Downlow'd.
That's me.
Yeah.
Hi.
And it is not a hearty trap remix.
It's a hearty other. It's like, what is it? It's like house.
No, it's like
jungle,
electro.
Jungle terror almost.
Yeah. Okay. Jungle terror.
Yeah.
We've invented a new genre. Cool.
This shows how like in the scene Alex is. He doesn't know what jungle terror. He thinks that we invented jungle terror.
Oh, is that a real thing?
Yes.
I've never even heard of that.
Do
it must not be very big.
I mean, do you listen to WeWek?
No, never heard of him.
That's because everything in Alex's playlist is from like 2009.
I'm gonna have to.
Every time I get back into Alex's car, it's like Torquix and Twist.
Oh God,
it is.
That's because there's a CD that someone made for me in there. So when I start the car, it loads up CDs.
Oh, that's from your SD card.
No.
There's another. What's the other thing that you listen to? It's like Liquid Stranger. It's on repeat. It's like, okay, so Alex mostly listens to like podcasts, but I get into your car and then it'll be like the last time I got in your car was like 2 weeks ago, and it's the same fucking song. Oh, glory.
So
yeah, so Jungle Terror is a thing. WeWek is kind of blowing up. He's kind of a big deal. It's not. I wouldn't really say that my remix is Jungle Terror. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's got like its own weird thing to it. I don't know. You guys decide.
It's Downlow'd, pretty much.
It's kind of bouncy.
But let's talk some other music news about what went down in El Paso this weekend. I don't know if you heard, but Yelawolf was here, and apparently.
Oh, really? Was he here with his band?
Yeah, he was here with like a whole group of people.
No way.
But apparently, apparently his DJ got a little too drunk and was
I follow him on Instagram.
He was kind of making a ruckus, and at one point he had refried beans and he pretended to shit in his hand and he threw the refried beans at the audience.
What?
But I guess the promoters
You're talking about Clever.
Yes. That's exactly who I'm talking about. The promoters, I guess, weren't too happy.
Oh my God! I'm looking at a photo of him. He got the shit kicked out of him.
So that was the police, man. The police fucked him up because, so apparently the promoters told him he had to leave, even though he was Yelawolf's DJ. Yelawolf wasn't very happy at all. But the police ended up getting involved, and he wouldn't go peacefully, apparently. So.
They beat the shit out of him, dude.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Apparently, he was really, really fucked up. Like,
I don't know. Well, El Paso police are known for kind of exercising their,
yeah,
you know. So tell me, okay.
But
so
the whole reason the police came was because the promoter asked them to.
Which festival was this? Wasn't Limp Bizkit in El Paso?
I don't know. I don't think this was a festival, man. I think it was just a Yelawolf show.
His thing was like playing a festival tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was I wonder what festival.
So Limp Bizkit was like here last night.
It was Limp Bizkit and then Yelawolf?
And like a few other people, yeah. It was like packed.
What? And Limp Bizkit's touring still?
I think that they came. I think Limp Bizkit is kind of an act where people would go out and see Limp Bizkit just for the hell of it. Dude, Fred Durst is like he was like the head A&R for like Sony for a while. Did you know that?
Yeah. Well, I knew he was.
I don't know if it was Sony, but for a major label.
He's always been kind of on the business side of music for a long time.
Well, before he was like a total loser. Like until he got discovered, he was like the guy who moved out to LA and no one wanted anything to do with him until like I don't know, he like launched the whole rap rock, and then you remember like Puddle of Mud is another band that Fred Durst was like, yeah,
he loved them.
He
literally, the Puddle of Mud was pretty much
it was kind of a big band.
For, like, a short while.
Like, there were a lot of bands that were like that, though, is my
Yeah.
point. And I think Fred Durst was kind of, like, the guiding thing behind all of that. That was, like, the alternative metal, like, rap core, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's fucking crazy. So he like, acted like he was shitting and...
Into his hand, but it was actually...
Did he, like, take his pants off or something?
I don't know, to be honest
Like,
with you.
what would, like...
A lot of the fans weren't happy with him either. Apparently.
Really?
A lot of the people in the crowd were not happy with it.
What, like... Okay, so... Tell me more.
I mean, there's not much more to the story. The guy went to jail. He's out now. He went home already.
Well, yeah. Yelawolf DJ arrested. This is a big deal. Texas Showdown Festival is what it was. And there was Ice Cube, Yelawolf, Atmosphere. It was,
that's pretty... Dude, I'd go see Atmosphere.
Buck Cherry, I think. Here, hold up. Let me see.
You know what's...
Limp Bizkit, The Offspring, Hollywood Undead, Buck Cherry, Yelawolf, Pepper, Iration, Pop Evil, OTEP, Upon a Burning Body, Futuristic, DJ Starscream, and Pissing Razors. This was
quite
at
a few big
County
names.
Coliseum. At El Paso County Coliseum. This was all like, it was all rock and punk and kind of...
And hip-hop, apparently, too.
Yeah.
You know, Yelawolf, or Clever, isn't the first, you know, big-name artist to get in trouble with the law here in El Paso. There's been quite a few.
It's kind of like a thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're, like, so who was it? Wiz Khalifa?
Wiz Khalifa was arrested here.
And,
for marijuana.
I think Johnny Cash at one point was arrested here. Willie Nelson, I'm pretty sure, has been
Snoop
arrested.
Dogg's been arrested, like, twice.
In El Paso. Yeah, they don't... El Paso people, like, the cops just don't support the entertainment cause, man. They're just like, well, we're gonna arrest whoever we want.
Well, I think, like, the city's stance on marijuana has suddenly started to get more lenient, so I feel like these artists are less likely to get harassed by the police for smoking pot.
I mean, Clever must have been really fucked up. Like, he must have done something really... I mean, come on, because I
thought I had the news
It's
report.
not like Gigi Allen. Like, Gigi Allen literally did take shits on stage. You know? And people were like, fuck yeah, it's punk rock. But it was just refried beans. He probably ate it, and people were like, no!
There was a bunch of tweets from people, but I can't seem to find them now. So,
well, you can find, if you just look up Yelawolf El Paso, there's information, like, it's the top things. Showdown at Texas Showdown. Yelawolf DJ arrested, that's on El Paso 411. DJ arrested at Texas Showdown Festival from K-Fox, El Paso. I mean, this is some pretty big news.
So let's talk about some crazy, really crazy news out of Millersville, Pennsylvania. Police have charged a man with trespassing, public drunkenness, and indecent exposure after he was caught on a neighbor's Pennsylvania farm in the nude, drinking beer amongst pigs.
Yeah, you think this is hilarious. Alex loves this story.
Police in Manor Township, Lancaster County, say 64-year-old Larry Henry told them, "I just like pigs." That's a direct quote, people. I'm not making this up. After they found him in the hog barn. Coincidentally, he was drinking Ham's beer, too. This guy's just really loves pigs, I guess.
Wow, that's crazy. He liked to just hang with a bunch of pigs and get drunk.
In the nude.
Yeah. I mean, well, probably do other stuff, too.
I mean, is that what constitutes as fun in Millersville, Pennsylvania?
I'm sorry, I'm still, like, reading about this other thing because I think it's interesting, but there's a video of Yelawolf in El Paso, but I can tell you what the full thing is at this point. So, he was really drunk and falling over on stage, and the promoter, like, tried to help him up several times, and then eventually he, like, reached up for the promoter to help him up, and the promoter just, like, slapped his hand out of the way, and he got up and he was like, "What the fuck, man?" And then the cops jumped on stage and slammed him on the floor, like, on the stage. Mm-hmm. And apparently they said that they found that some illegal substance on him as well.
Yeah.
And he resisted arrest, so they, like, I don't know. That's pretty shitty. Did police arrest the pig man?
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Was he being indecent with the pigs?
I mean, they charged him with trespassing, public drunkenness, and indecent exposures. So
to pigs,
yeah,
the pigs were the ones who like called the police.
I mean, I love this story just because it's like police say the brand of beer was in keeping with the overall theme. Henry was drinking Hams. I've never even heard of Hams beer.
It was keeping with the theme.
Yeah.
Great
story.
That's that guy's. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be like real thematic about the whole thing.
Yeah.
My prison experience is going to be like,
or I think he just
really
loves
well orchestrated.
Pigs, man. He just loves them.
Pigs are really close to humans, apparently.
Really?
Dude, they're such slobs. Like, there are videos of pigs, like, eating watermelons and stuff.
Well, there's this, I've seen this one video where this guy feeds his pig ice cream.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like pigs.
Lots of people have, like, miniature pet pigs. They're kind of cute.
Okay, so here's the thing about pigs. A lot of people buy what they think are going to be miniature pigs because, like, the people who are selling them they want to make money off. They're expensive animals. And they end up being like
pigs.
So they like they're just little when they buy them, but they end up growing to like 600 pounds and become a 600-pound hog. So there are a bunch of people
which is not feasible.
Well, I mean, there are some people who live out there with like their 600-pound hog, and they don't want to give them away because it'll go to the farm and probably get killed. You know,
for bacon.
Yeah.
I mean, bacon is pretty delicious.
Like they love these pigs. Like some pigs are sweethearts, man.
Oh, I mean.
They're smarter than dogs.
I don't think there's a single malicious pig out there.
No, there are. There definitely are.
Well, like wild boar, maybe.
Dude, pigs are smart, man.
Yeah.
There are definitely pigs are supposed to be smarter than dogs.
Really?
Yeah, from what I understand.
Interesting.
They eat human food, so you could like feed them whatever, like leftovers. They're like living vacuum cleaners, like for real. Like you could like drop some ice cream on the floor, and the pig would be like, ah! It could be covered in hair, and the pig would be like, yeah, just like eat it.
The pig wouldn't care.
Oh no, because pigs will eat hair.
It could be covered in the pig's own excrement. I don't think it would care.
It wouldn't care. Pigs. That's why like you're like a filthy pig.
Yeah.
But so pigs have like really strong digestive systems. They say that I was reading on this thread on Reddit. It was like a morbid curiosity thread or something like that, and it was like, how would you dispose of a body? And they were talking about how if you wanted to dispose of a body effectively, you could like give it to a bunch of pigs, and if it was like 8 pigs could consume a 300-pound male or something like that in like 25 minutes.
Wow.
Like they just eat and eat disgusting. And eat. Yeah, they'll eat anything though. They'll eat you.
Yeah.
They don't care. Pigs are hungry.
So let's talk about this. We talked about last week. Was it last week or the week before? El Chapo escaping.
Did he also help Gucci Mane escape?
No, that was pretty much like
that was a farce,
a Wonderground equivalent story. It was
like The Onion.
It was satire, yeah, about how El Chapo put a plan into motion to help all these rappers escape from jail too. It was like Gucci Mane, Little Boozy.
Boozy's already out.
Is he out?
Yeah, he's been out for a while.
Boozy.
But what about these people that take The Onion seriously?
I don't trust people like that.
They like post on their Facebook page like this is religious
No.
or not. Wait, what? Ridiculous.
This is religious.
Sorry, I'm like a little bit hungover, but yeah, they're like this is ridiculous. Like, for instance, when it was like same-sex marriage was universally given the thumbs up in the United States, some girl posted on her Instagram. She was like, "I'm disgusted. Like they're gonna make the United States flag all different colors or whatever." And it was like an Onion article.
Yeah.
And she like posted it, and she was like, I can't believe it. First of all, like that's fucking ignorant, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she trusts a news source like The Onion.
The thing is, nowadays there's a lot of satire sites out there. So whenever I read something that I think is even remotely questionable, I double check it.
There are a lot of idiots out there too who will just take it with a grain of salt and be like, "Oh my god!" Like, dude, okay, wait, what was the thing where it was like that woman posted about Jurassic World? She was like, "I can't believe that this is real."
No, it was pictures of like Steven Spielberg and the animatronic Triceratops, the one that's like dying in the movie.
Yeah,
and she's like, "I can't. This disgusts me. Like, how could you treat a poor defenseless animal like that? it's dying. Like,
and then her PR people were like, she was joking.
Yeah,
she was totally.
Oh, was
joking.
someone famous?
Yeah, she's an author.
Oh God, that's even more pathetic.
Yeah, right.
But okay, so
El Chapo.
He escaped, and here's what Donald Trump has to say about it.
Oh no!
Mexico's biggest drug lord escapes from jail. Unbelievable corruption, and USA is paying the price. I told you so. El Chapo and the Mexican drug cartels use the border unimpeded. Donald Trump, shut up. Like it wasn't like
Donald Trump.
Like it was a vacuum cleaner sucking drugs and death right into the U.S.
Oh my God, dude.
Likewise, billions of dollars gets brought... This is like 5 different tweets. He's like trying to say a whole speech. Likewise, billions of dollars of drugs gets brought into Mexico. Oh no, what? Billions of dollars of drug money gets brought into Mexico through the border. We get the killers, drugs, and crimes. They get the money. When will people in the media start to apologize for me and my statement? Mexico is sending, which turned out to be true. El Chapo.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
He's like Donald Trump is delirious.
El Chapo issued a death... Oh, okay, apparently... A Twitter account that is known to be linked to El Chapo issued a death threat to Donald Trump.
Oh, please.
This is very real. It was, like, sent to the FBI and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah.
So Donald Trump is, like, tweeting about it. Like, I don't know. It's whatever. Yeah. Well, I don't really even know what to say about that. I think that Donald Trump, he may as well write for the fucking Onion.
And he's running for president.
Yeah, I don't
that's
think
scary.
That's gonna. Well, I hope.
I don't know what's more scary, Hillary
Hillary?
Clinton or Donald Trump.
They both scare me. Yeah. Well, so Bernie Sanders is like a big deal right now. I am like getting
I'm not
that.
Really a socialist though,
dude. I'm getting that like pushed down my throat on Reddit.
Sanders.
Yeah, if you go on r/all, it's like Sanders for president. Sanders for president.
Well, he's real popular among our generation,
dude. Okay. So when Comic-Con happened, they were like surprise breakout rally for Bernie Sanders at Comic-Con. I was like, why the fuck does this need to be a thing? Like,
wait, like outside Comic-Con?
In Comic-Con,
it was like a flash mob for Bernie Sanders.
Inside Comic-Con, like people were like Sanders.
They don't even care about the superheroes.
It's like
anymore?
a fucking orgy. Like some bunch of chicks are like sucking dick and like,
oh my God,
they're like jerking guys off and they're like Bernie Sanders.
Okay,
double fisting. Yeah, like in Silicon Valley. Like how many dicks could you jerk off like, at once? You know, and they're like talking about the momentum. And
well, it's like
the angles. Like
you gotta consider size of dicks, angles of dicks. You know.
And Bernie Sanders is like the brains behind all of this.
Yeah.
You know what I read about? This is like a side thing. There's an island off of India called Sentinel Island. I don't know if you've heard about this, and I don't know why I thought about this, but like it just popped in my brain. But this island has like not been visited or touched by outside people ever, and like any outsiders who go near the island, like you get killed by these people. They'll throw spears and like shoot arrows at you.
Oh wow,
it's pretty crazy. Like where
is this at?
It's right off the coast of like Bangladesh in like India. So India said that like they've advised people to not even go over there. The last people that got killed were like a year ago or 2 years ago. There were guys who were illegally crab fishing around there, and the Sentinelese shot them with arrows like on their boat, and fucking the boat crashed and they just killed everyone.
Wow,
fucking brutal, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I read that it was on like r/creepy, and it evoked a huge thread, like 4,000 comments, and all these people were like, a lot of people were like, well, dude, we should go and invade them, like we should send drones over, like
what?
Yeah, I mean there were like crazy responses. A lot of the other responses were just fucking leave them alone, like this is humanity at its best. They have
well, I mean they're not the only tribe who's not familiar with the outside world. It's common in Africa and South America, like
I mean this
all
is
over the place.
This is an island though.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So this is like the island hasn't seen outsiders. Like no outsider has set foot on the island since like 1892 when they kidnapped 2 little kids. The tribe did, and they kidnapped 2 kids and like an old woman, and they killed the old woman and sent the kids back with gifts, which is kind of weird. But some people had like speculated that the kids had like disease or something and passed it on to the tribe, and now they think that all outsiders are like evil.
Oh wow!
But can you imagine? So like that place has been untouched by people, and one of the arguments was like they're not living life as life should be intended. I mean, they should at least have modern medicine, and like definitely their lifespan probably ends at 40 years old if you're lucky. So look it up, guys. Sentinel Island. It's kind of interesting. Another thing that I looked up, which was like I was just up really late one night looking at weird shit, as we all do. I was looking up a list of mysteriously disappeared people, which is a thing on Wikipedia. Mm-hmm. And there's like an extensive list.
Amelia Earhart?
No, it's not just her. I mean,
she's one.
Yeah, she's saying. Definitely. But there's like, I mean, hundreds upon hundreds of people who have just disappeared over the years. Yeah. And I don't know. The reason I saw this is I was on r/creepy, and they were like, it's so creepy to think that all these people disappeared. Like, you could be next. As I was looking through, I was like, murdered, definitely murdered. Like, you could just see like the profile fits for all of these people. It's like this girl was 18 years old and went out for a walk in Central Park in like the middle of the night. Like, murdered. You know that she was murdered. Yeah. Like, she didn't just fucking disappear. They're like, could have been alien abductions or some weird shit. Like, no, dude.
I mean, I'd be more prone to believe government abductions than alien abductions.
I mean, for some of these guys, maybe. I think, but it's just like I was scrolling through it. It's like murdered, right? Definitely all murdered. No, like these people just got like murdered, and someone took care of the bodies. Like they fed them to the pigs or something, and drank Ham's beer.
Well, there's plenty of ways
to dispose of a body. I don't think so. I really don't think that there are plenty of ways to dispose of a body and not get caught, man. Like, it would be really difficult. Another thing that I read was, like, if you were to, like, take your toilet off the seat or something and, like, blend up pieces of a person's body, like, little by little and just dispose of them day by day.
That's not going to work.
Dude, I mean, I don't know how you would even do it. Like how...
I mean, obviously, we're not murderers.
You couldn't... Well, evidently not. You couldn't... we were like, I don't know how... Like, we would get caught so fucking fast. I don't know, dude. I fucking, like...
But, dude, I've watched, like, 10 seasons of CSI, bro.
Why are you telling me that? I work here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, I don't, like, how would you even dispose? Like, you couldn't. You would have to go out. You would have to drive. Like, you couldn't just drive out to one place in like the middle of the night and dispose of an entire body because someone would see you doing it. Like, no matter where. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I feel like that's the case. There's a lot of desert out there, but someone's gonna find that shit. Like, you would have to. And the way that forensic science is these days, it's so like. I don't know.
I mean, if they're actively...
So legit?
If they're trying to solve your case, yeah.
Well, why wouldn't they be?
I mean, there's only so much resources.
Dude, like El Chapo, he's like above the law almost. But if he killed Donald Trump, they'd be like El Chapo. It's that guy. But someone else could kill Donald Trump now. Like, someone else could do it and be like, it was El Chapo.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, it was him. And he'll be like, no, it wasn't. Wait, I was in Portugal.
But see, like, if Donald Trump was killed, they wouldn't just be like, oh, we know it's El Chapo. They'd investigate and make sure, like...
You sure?
Yeah.
You think so?
They'd want to find the killer because obviously El Chapo didn't pull the trigger himself, right? So somebody else did, and whoever did was either hired by El Chapo or someone else, you know?
They would probably find out whatever the MO was, though, too. Like however he was killed. If he was killed with, like, a gun or something, it was probably, like this is a really funny conversation.
The unsub prefers hunting Donald Trumps.
Dude, yeah. I don't know. Donald Trump also said something really creepy. He was like, my daughter Ivana is very pretty. She's really hot. Honestly, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd probably be dating her.
What?
Yeah, he's like been quoted as saying that.
Wow.
That was also on r/creepy. Like, that is such a junk subreddit. I swear. It's like all the big subreddits are total garbage. Yeah. There's a lot of shit that's like not funny on funny. A lot of shit that's like, Pix is totally. I guess kind of good because it's so open-ended because it's like you can just post pics, you know? But then they get upvoted for fucking Reddit, like, cancer, Like, literally. Like, there's bullshit on there, Like, this is my dog. This is a picture of mine. People are like, oh, I get 6,000 upvotes because they're like, dog. I don't know, man. I'm losing faith in the internet, guys.
Well, I mean, so some of your faith in society might be restored with this next topic. Have you seen this picture?
Was that Rosie O'Donnell's ass?
No, that is a high-res photo of Pluto. The NASA's New Horizons spacecraft has been on a 10-year journey to Pluto, and it's finally made it.
There are so many memes about this.
Have you seen the comparisons of what, like, our photos of Pluto from before and now?
Yeah.
Because they were so blurry from before, because they're just from ridiculously far away.
And this is a 10-year-old camera that we're taking photos with right now,
Well,
right?
I mean, cameras were pretty legit 10 years ago. And it's
evidently.
It's NASA, so their technology was a couple years ahead of whatever was for the consumers, you know?
I guess. But now, if we sent a camera, oh my God, could you imagine? We could probably get there even quicker.
What's been cool is they identified a mountain range that's like the size of Mount Everest.
And there's fucking American presidents on it, too.
No, what, dude? That's Mount Rushmore.
Oh.
Mount Everest is like one of the tallest mountains in the world.
Dude, we should definitely put, like, American presidents on Mount Everest, though. Yeah. Like, you know?
Except
like, even
for
bigger.
It's not in America.
That's why it makes so much sense. Well, where is it?
In the Himalayas, I think.
If it was in North Korea, they could put, like, Kim Jong-un. Did you hear that he's totally, like, getting rid of his father's regiment or whatever?
Oh,
like,
really?
Him and his grandfather, he's, like, changing things. Not for the good.
I mean, yeah.
He's, like, still fucked up.
I was talking with someone yesterday about the ridiculous things that Kim Jong-un, like, the propaganda he spreads about himself, like... he has, like, superhuman abilities. Like, he can regenerate, and, like, he has superhuman strength, and, like...
People in North Korea will not fuck with you about this. They'll be like...
No, they have... If they say anything otherwise, they're probably gonna be killed.
They have, like, one of the most hardcore death camps in North Korea still.
North Korea's fucked up, man.
What... I mean, how can, like, that still exist? How can that still be a thing?
I mean, it's just, you know... It's
like, America doesn't want to do anything with it.
It's a product of communism, man. Like, that's, you know...
Why doesn't America do anything about it? Or, like, why doesn't anyone do anything about it? Are they just so afraid that North Korea would nuke us?
Well, yeah, North Korea does... We can't invade North Korea. It's just not plausible.
Why?
Because they'll nuke us.
But they don't... They said that their nukes won't even make it over here.
Yeah.
But they would nuke South Korea, though.
They would nuke other people, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of countries really close to them that they can nuke.
We can't get rid of South Korea, dude. K-pop is the best.
And China will probably come to their defense.
China will?
Mm-hmm.
And all they need is like 1 billion people to just say boom. You would hear it, dude. I wonder if everyone yelled boom from China at the same time, do you think we would hear it?
Maybe, yeah.
1 billion people yelling boom, do you think that we would hear it?
How do you think they would time that?
They would have invented some kind of app. It would be 3, 2, 1, boom! And we'd all be like, holy shit. Yeah. What just happened, dude?
Do you remember what TV show was it? Oh, it was in Arrow. Like they wanted to Argus wanted to shoot a Chinese airliner out of the sky to like destabilize their economy. Yeah.
That kind of shit happens all the time, though.
Yeah.
That's what is that? Corporate espionage or corporate like?
What? That's not corporate espionage. That was a government agency trying to fucking destabilize China's economy.
Well, I mean, but what is that called? Like, it's called like I don't know. Like you're
industrial espionage,
or I don't know. It's not. I don't know if it's even espionage, but it's like, what did they say when we're gonna talk about this later? Like we watched Ant-Man, but they said that the Yellow Jacket was good for like some kind of like destroying shit, basically. Like you could just like come in and destroy a bunch of shit, and
you could. I mean, the Yellow Jacket could take out an entire army, is what they were saying.
Yeah, but they were saying like it's good. It's not just good for that. Like it's good for destroying economies and like secret covert missions like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
I can't believe I can't think of the fucking
the Yellow
word.
Jacket could sneak into the servers where China's stock exchange is and like crash it. You know?
Yeah, totally. Like that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Someone is like yelling at at us right now.
You're talking about like economic warfare.
But there's a word for it. There's a word.
No.
Yes, there is.
Mm.
Yes. Ugh, I can't.
Don't look it up because you're not going to listen.
Yes, I will.
No.
I'm always listening.
No, you're going to get on your phone and not pay attention.
It's too late. Okay, wait. So that happened in Arrow. And
we're done with this topic. We need to move on.
No.
We have so much more to get to.
Okay.
Let's talk about Jared Fogle, man. We talked about him last week. We promised.
Are there updates?
Yes. We have an update. Jared's attorneys are claiming that the police found no evidence linking him to their child pornography investigation. So he's been cleared.
I knew it. The word is sabotage, baby. That's what it is. Sabotage.
Subway is probably still cut all ties with him, I bet.
Yeah, and you know what we said on the last podcast is they're totally gonna his career is fucked.
Yeah.
Like, people are still going to look at him and be like, oh, like, dude, all the internet memes that happen, and guaranteed so many people are ignorant, they don't even care about this news. They only care about the fact that they were like, ooh, he's got, you know.
They were searching for it.
Yeah, and
it
now
they've been there.
They found nothing. They found nothing but tranny porn.
Which is totally legal,
It's totally legal and acceptable.
I mean, yeah.
It's acceptable, guys.
Yeah.
And so, like, they're like, God, Jared, like, we might not agree with your methods, dude, but it's totally okay. Dude, Caitlyn Jenner won an ESPY.
Yeah?
Last night.
No, not last night. That was like...
I thought that the ESPYs aired last night.
No.
I was watching the ESPYs last night.
They re-aired them.
Did they really?
The ESPYs were like from
Friday?
Or earlier.
It was recent. This is still recent news. It wasn't like from 6 months ago.
No, it was from this week.
Okay, so there was like a 15-minute long segment about Caitlyn Jenner. And I was like sitting there having drinks with John Zeidman, and we were like we kind of lost track that it was even the ESPYs, and we were like, dude, what is this? Like, we're like watching a documentary about Caitlyn Jenner's life, or Bruce Jenner's life, you know? So, Jared, dude, whatever you're into, as long as it's not illegal, man. And I hope that you find work somewhere. Panhandling
I
or
could care
something.
less what happens to him.
Dude, now he's not going
to...
What if he gets fat again?
I mean...
What if he... Dude. Okay, so I read about... I don't know if I talked about this, but did you hear about how he lost all of that weight in the first place?
Gastric bypass?
No! They said that he did lose it by going to Subway, but the only reason for this was he was running a porn rental company out of his room in college. Like, he had a bunch of porn VHSs or whatever, and he was, like, renting them out to kids, and they would return them. And he had to stay in his room, like, all the time to do that. And the only place that was, like, close to where he lived, it was, like, right downstairs or, like, right next door.
Is this true?
Yes! Was Subway. So he literally went there and ate Subway because he was lazy. And he's like the only man who has lost weight
by being lazy.
Yeah, and eventually he made millions of dollars because he was like, look, I lost all of this weight and I only eat Subway. You know?
So what? Are you sure this is true?
Positive.
This is something that I would double check if I heard this story.
Positive. I got it from The Onion.
Oh yeah, reputable news source, bro.
Yeah. The Onion. Hey, the thing about The Onion is it has layers.
I mean, I hold The Onion up there with CNN and Fox News.
Definitely with Fox News. Holy shit, man.
They're all pretty bad.
There's some woman that I saw recently. I don't know which channel she's on, but they have this video where she's debating herself about marijuana because she's taken so many different stances.
You're talking about what's her name? The Nancy Grace?
Yes, dude.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
She's argued with 2 Chainz about it before, and 2 Chainz is actually reasonably educated, and he shut her down.
Well, okay, so she's argued against it, and she's also argued for it.
Yeah.
So they've cut like 2 different screens of her arguing with each other.
It's like the South Park episode where people want them to change the flag of South Park because it's racist, and the news is interviewing people, and they're like, I think that the flag is racist, but I also think that it is history. it's like, which one is it? Should it be changed or should it not be changed?
Some are bad, some are good.
Exactly.
But she's like talking about Trayvon Martin in one of the things, and she's like, marijuana, like, you know, marijuana doesn't make you want to go shoot guns. It makes you just want to sit at home and eat food. And on the other one, she was like, these kids smoke marijuana so they go out and rob places. And like, so she's like literally on both sides. I don't know. If she's
ridiculous.
Do you think she gets paid like just for her opinions? Like they're like, this is what your opinion is today.
She's not even a real news reporter. She's like, isn't she supposed to be like a financial advisor? Isn't that what her show is about?
I don't know. What her show. I never even heard of her before.
Yeah, she's been around for a while. I don't like her.
She has a career of lies and bullshit. I like that show. What is it? Mad Money. Yeah. Where that dude's like crazy and he's like, "This is gonna happen."
You're
gonna make tons of fucking money on this.
Is it in Iron Man 2?
He's like on it.
Yeah. Tony Stark transfers control of the company over to Pepper, and
he's like, it's gonna
This
fail.
is what I think about Stark Industries stock prices, and he's like crushing shit with a sledgehammer.
Wasn't there isn't it kind of becoming more of a thing to see real newscasters in like movies? Didn't we watch a movie recently where Matt Lauer was like in it? Wasn't it Ted?
Was he in Ted?
He was like he was like the teddy bear Ted or something like that.
I love when they do that shit.
It's kind of funny though because it like kind of discredits the newscaster a little bit.
But they're acting.
They're acting either way, I guess.
Well, yeah.
They're like, read this, Matt.
Yeah.
Read it well.
How do you?
We won't tell anyone about the Asian prostitutes in your.
I'm curious what it's going to be like with Jon Stewart taking over Brian Williams' position.
Wait, what?
Jon Stewart.
He's going to be on a legitimate news thing?
Yeah.
Jon Stewart is now. So he's not going to be able to be funny anymore.
Come August. I don't know. That's what I'm curious. Like, how is this going to work?
You know what? I think that he's actually a hell of a lot smarter than a lot of people that are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've seen him on Crossfire where those guys are just, like, all supporting propaganda, and Jon Stewart actually has, like, real shit to say. Mm-hmm. You know? What's happening with Stephen Colbert? Does he have another show now?
He's going to be the host of The Tonight Show.
What?
Or the Late Night Show. Which
really?
Is the one that David Letterman was hosting.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him, man. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
I mean, Jon Stewart kind of... Stephen Colbert has had a more meteoric rise than Jon Stewart has.
It happened way faster for him.
Jon Stewart did what? The Daily Show for like over 10 years.
Dude, since like 1997, man.
So like 20 fucking years of the Daily Show, and now he's going to barely jump on this other thing. A lot of people were saying that they should run for office, you know. I would be a hell of a lot less scared.
The last election, Colbert had like a publicity stunt that was all like Colbert 2010.
Would you have Colbert as president and Jon Stewart as VP, or Jon Stewart as president and Colbert as VP?
Jon Stewart, because even though Colbert may seem more serious, but that's just his persona. Like, you know, he's way more of a...
I think Will Ferrell for president.
Oh, no.
And
Arnold Schwarzenegger for vice president.
Yeah. Do more reps of water.
Ferrell Schwarzenegger 2016.
What about like what's the dude from Steve Carell? Will Ferrell and Steve Carell, dude. As president and VP.
Yeah.
And our country would just actually, what if our country like did better under their cabinet?
Maybe.
It would be like a cabinet of like a bunch of comedians, like Adam Sandler is the Treasury.
Sandler,
Tina Fey, and Jimmy Fallon.
Poehler. Amy Poehler becomes the actual like deputy director of
Parks and
Parks.
Parks and Recreation. And Adam McKay.
Yeah.
So wasn't he like a writer for? I mean, we're gonna talk about this in a minute as well. But wasn't he a writer for Ant-Man as well?
Adam McKay,
the guy from Parks and Rec. Because he's kind of like a big like writer as well, I think. Or unless I might be just totally wrong, as I am with many things.
Maybe.
But I saw that at the very end, and I was like, wow, because they had some pretty funny moments in that movie.
Yeah.
And it's not that long of a shot where like Paul Rudd is involved, and you know.
It was written by Edgar Wright, Joe Cornish, Adam McKay, and Paul Rudd.
Is Paul Rudd wrote part of it too?
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. He's like, give me a writer's credit. Well, maybe he did. Maybe he's like super talented. Is Adam McKay the guy that I'm thinking of though from Parks and Rec?
Adam McKay, he wrote Step Brothers, Anchorman.
He was in Step Brothers.
Was he?
Yeah, it's that guy's brother who's like a total dick, and they sing in the car.
No, dude, that's not Adam McKay.
Yes, it's not?
This is Adam McKay.
What's that guy's name?
I know who you're talking about.
You know, like I thought that
that's Adam Scott. That's who you're thinking of.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Adam Scott is this dude.
Oh, I've been thinking that he was the dude this entire time.
No.
Man, I am so misinformed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you want to move on to TV, and then we're going to go into movies after that?
TV.
So,
TV.
Are you familiar with Michael Ironside? He's an awesome actor.
Old Ironsides?
What?
Wasn't that a boat in the Civil War? I believe it's an old boat from the Civil War era.
That's not who I'm talking about.
Santiago.
I'm not talking about
a whale's
boat.
vagina.
I'm talking about actor Michael Ironside.
I have no idea who that is.
He's been in a lot of stuff. Starship Troopers. A lot of great stuff. He is great. He's been cast in The Flash as...
Jay Saunders.
No.
Jay Saunders. Jay Garrett.
He's been cast as Louis Snart, the father of Captain Cold and Golden Glider, who is also a career criminal.
Why do we need that? Is that a real character?
Yeah, I believe he is, and he's kind of a dick. He's, not a great father. Hence,
go figure.
Hence why Lisa and Leonard are a little bit, on the crazy side.
Is he a real character? What's his name?
Louis Snart.
With an O?
No, Lewis.
Lewis.
Louis lit. You've been lit up.
Yeah, you've been watching that, dude. Captain, there's no.
Maybe he's not real then.
No, they totally added this for the show.
Okay.
Dude, you guys better not fucking start doing this a lot. I swear, man. They're gonna be like, well, there's not that much Flash mythos for us to
There's
continue.
tons.
There's tons of it.
I'd much rather see if instead of Zoom, the next Reverse Flash could have been Barry's or Iris's brother. They haven't.
How are they going to do this though?
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe he doesn't exist in the Arrowverse, but one can hope, because he's one of the Reverse Flashes. Is Iris's brother?
They've just taken such liberties with casting on this show. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Who's it going to be? What's that dude's name? Who's like a fucking amazing runner?
Usain Bolt?
Yeah.
He's probably a terrible actor.
Could you imagine? They're like, Usain Bolt as Iris's brother.
Guest starring Usain Bolt. Yeah.
That would actually be kind of fucking awesome. I don't know. I have a lot of faith for this next season of Flash, though. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
They're not revealing anything to us right now either, so we're going to see probably a lot of Grodd, which will be dope. And I hope, come on, if they don't do that, it would be cool if they bring back Mark Hamill again.
And Trickster.
Yeah, and do another Trickster is the shit.
I think, they really need to build up Flash's most noteworthy villains. The
Rogues.
We haven't seen Mirror Master. Where's Mirror Master? And Captain Boomerang was a whole side note on Arrow,
Yeah, he wasn't even... Yeah, totally. I think that they should do a sub arc in this next season that's going to be Rise of the Rogues.
That would be
where
awesome.
Because so he kind of started doing that. Captain Cold kind of started putting it together. He was like,
but he's already gone to the good side, hasn't he?
Nah.
Isn't that what Legends of Tomorrow is?
I don't think so. He's kind of the anti-hero. But see, Legends of Tomorrow is totally they should not have done that, because it's they're just throwing shit together now.
It looks cool, though.
It looks great, yeah. And Vandal Savage is cool. The fanboy in me is fuck yeah, this is gonna be dope. But as far as them painting a solid picture for everything, that should have come 3 seasons down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, I just feel the team is a little weird.
The team is totally fucking weird.
And it's it's got a whole time travel element with. And Rip Hunter too,
yeah.
So I'm not quite sure where this show is going.
Wait, okay, so Hawk Girl is going to have her own show.
Really?
Yeah, and Hawkman is going to be in it too.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be a thing.
But isn't Hawkman still Carter Hall in the new 52? And Hawkgirl is just her. It's a different Hawkgirl.
I believe so. But she is possessed by the spirit of. There's
Shayera.
always it's like Shy. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's Shayera is they're both spirits of someone from way before.
Yeah, from the two the Thanagarians who landed on Earth. Or
yeah.
whatever.
So here's some total fanboy bullshit, and it may not translate all the way through the DC universe, but this is just something that happened in Blackest Night, which I thought was cool. So the Star Sapphires are they're all powered by an entity, right? The Green Lanterns have Ion, Star Sapphires is the Predator, and on their planet they have these two people that are enveloped in each other. They're hugging or whatever. They're skeletons.
They're constantly fucking.
No, they're not fucking. It's they're embraced, yeah. And in Blackest Night they come to life or whatever. They're given the black rings, and it's fucking the original Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Oh wow! Because their love transcended time and space.
Yeah,
and,
totally.
Yeah.
So they were what the Star Sapphires were kind of based on.
That's
so
crazy.
That's just how cool DC is everything is kind of a circle in that sense. All of the all of the original entities like Ion and the Predator and I forgot the rest of them, but there's like an entity for all of life, which is the White Lantern entity, which has sparked all life on Earth, and it was the first entity. But they're all like, besides that one, for instance, Ion is a fish. So they tell the story in Green Lantern, Blackest Night, which is like there are like 75 different books for Blackest Night, which are not even the same story. It's like all coinciding. It's just really well thought out, and like Ion was one of the first fish ever. It was just like a tiny fish, and it's just humongous.
I mean, it just goes to show that the two most important things in the entire DC multiverse is the color spectrum, which represents all emotions and all life pretty much, and the Speed Force.
Yeah, absolutely. But but it's funny because that's how the Flash and Green Lantern are arguably the most important pieces of the DC universe, but then the most popular ones are definitely Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But I thought that you were going to say the most important thing about DC is the continuity, because and how cohesive everything is. I mean, the way that they've put everything together through the years is love crazy.
Do you remember the one episode of Flash where the dude's eyes would glow red? Like, he can control rage and like give other people rage. It was one of the,
kind of, yeah.
And they used like a sequence of flashing colors to like snap Barry out of it.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
I think was that. It's funny because the Flash.
It's only been one season.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, was that in the first season? Like, obviously, yes. So maybe that's like a kind of like nod to Atrocitus.
Maybe, yeah.
Who's a demon, an actual demon from Sector 666. Which is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of cool, but he would be a Red Lantern for sure. Maybe one day that'll happen. They'll do like a callback to that. I mean, it would be so great to have a Green Lantern show. Oh my god. Yeah. And that would tie everything together so well.
So let's talk about this. A little bit of extra news from Comic-Con that we missed. So the Supernatural panel, before they gave everyone these like fake candle things that would light up beforehand, and like no one really knew what they were until they got in. It came with like a little pamphlet or some shit, and it was they were spreading awareness about depression and like getting treatment and whatever. Apparently, Jared Padalecki, suffered through depression, and so like they all did this as like a show of solidarity or whatever. But it was like a real special moment at the Supernatural panel, and Jared Padalecki was really touched. Yeah.
And what did he like weep or something?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, depression is serious. I mean, maybe
Have you seen his wife though?
She's fucking oh my god. But that's funny. But maybe that's why like maybe he wasn't always like jacked.
Well,
Well,
it just goes to show like a guy who theoretically has it all can still suffer from depression.
Well,
right?
anybody can. Yeah. Anybody could have depression, and I mean it comes from different things. And it, I can't even go down that path right now. But I think like trying to be healthy definitely helps a lot. And that guy is like super fucking healthy. Like, I mean, you've seen like the Supernatural episodes where he's like doing pull-ups and shit. And I was like, oh my god, dude, just Myron. I was like, damn.
No, that was the one where Dean was dead and he got super buff.
He was like evil.
No, he wasn't evil, but he became Dean pretty much.
But he's like soulless.
Yeah, he was soulless.
That was right. He was soulless, and he was banging all kinds of chicks. Yeah. and
he didn't care about
that's them. The Sam I like, dude. I want to see like one season where they're just both balls to the wall and there's no internal conflict between the brothers, where they're like, Dean, you've gone down the dark path.
There's always been the conflict, though. Yeah, I totally agree.
They need to focus on the other shit for like one season and then come back to it when it's not so fucking stale. And like, I mean, the conflict between Castiel and shit, we don't need that. Like, let's just have them kick some ass for one season and then come back to that other shit.
Well, I think the CW is slowly learning that with all their shows. Like, they're learning, like...
I think that's the one thing that everyone bitches about the CW.
I've heard people who are like famous people say they love DC Comics, but they will not watch Arrow.
Why?
Because they don't like the soap opera qualities. They bother them.
Which famous are these? Like Chris Hardwick or something?
No, not Chris Hardwick. I don't know if he watches some shitty shows because he's still watching Helix, and No. Season 2 of Helix is a fucking train wreck.
Is he like into it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm about to finish season 2 of Salem, and I'm just like, I'm like struggling to get
I thought
through.
you really liked the first season.
The first season was really good. The second season, the second season is not bad. I just have other shit that I want to watch now. Yeah. It's definitely not a show that you could get like, you're like super into, and you're like, dude.
I actually started a new show.
It's brutal though. That's all I'll say.
On Netflix, they added a sci-fi miniseries called Ascension. It's only a 6-parter. They haven't really said whether there's going to be a second season or not, but I watched the first episode and it's pretty cool. It's like It's like Mad Men meets Battlestar Galactica. Like
if you're into both of those things.
Well, you don't have to be into both.
Mad Men was like kind of hard for me to get through too.
You need to be into sci-fi if you're going to watch this. But,
I'm cool with that.
But overall, I watched the first episode and I was I made it through it. I thought it was cool.
Did you watch any of Sense8?
No, I haven't.
I don't think I talked about this, but I watched like part of the first episode and I had to stop it. It was so bad.
I was reading some of the reviews for it, and people were like, I almost turned away after the first episode, but I made it to episode 4 and it's really good. So I don't know.
The acting is so bad.
Yeah. And
like some of the writing too, like there's like one part where these two chicks are hooking up and she's like I never knew you could fuck me like that. Or like some weird, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like no one talks like that. The dialogue was just totally unbelievable. I don't know. I have to like, I'm sorry, man. Like the Wachowski thing is like not doing it for me anymore. Like
yeah.
They should just do like really badass commercials and just leave it at like 3 minutes. Like badass, like dude, whoever's making those Old Spice commercials must be just killing it. They could do badass like technological futuristic commercials for Motorola. Is Motorola even a thing anymore?
No.
Or like iPhone. They could do great iPhone commercials. Or
yeah,
Droid.
iPhone doesn't need commercials.
It's gonna sell anyway. Yeah.
I mean, the
like
commercials...
Droid. Come on.
Yeah.
They could do like great Droid commercials, like 30 seconds or like less of just like badass shit. I don't know. I don't need to see like their dialogue just pisses me off, man.
I'm gonna check it out just to see what my thoughts are on it. But I do recommend Ascension. It's pretty good.
So we also missed something else that we never talked about it, man. And I don't know if you you watched a lot about Comic-Con, but. And I don't know if we wanted to talk about this today, but have you like heard anything about Person of Interest?
No.
They had a Comic-Con panel.
Everything. It's still only those 10 episodes, right? Or 12 episodes?
Yeah, but I think they kind of talked about it a little bit, like what's going to happen. I wish I would have like looked more into this, but that's going to be fucking awesome. Whatever they're going to do is going to be good.
So, are we fairly sure that it's going to be the wrap up to the entire story?
I don't think that they've guaranteed that.
But why? But see, they only ordered 13 episodes or whatever, man.
It could be like a hoax.
Maybe.
But I think that all of those actors want to move on to other things too, probably.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, how long did Michael Emerson work on Lost, though? Dude, but I mean, the guy is like 60 years old.
He's not old, man. Oh, come on.
Michael Emerson's older than Jim Caviezel.
But they're in their prime, man. They're not super old.
No, but I mean, my point is, why would he want to continue working on a show for like 10 seasons?
Because it's good. I mean, does he not? Jim Caviezel, the one comment I saw from him out of Comic-Con was that he thinks this season of the show is going to be the best one yet.
Well, maybe they will do another one. He's 60 years old.
He doesn't look it, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, that doesn't make it... It doesn't change the fact that he is 60 years old. I mean...
He's got another... If he wants, he could work another 25 years.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But does he want to continue... Like, he could do movies, dude. Yeah. He could be, do really good, like, blockbuster films at this point, because I feel like he's on that level.
Oh, easily.
And Person of Interest is, like... Okay, he was, like, a huge main character in Lost.
I mean, I feel like Jim Caviezel's on that level, too.
Oh, fuck yeah. Jim Caviezel could...
he played Jesus Christ.
Well, and that's arguably, I think that's one of his worst roles. But have you watched The Count of Monte Cristo?
Yeah.
I thought that movie was awesome.
Wait, he was in that?
Yeah, he was the main dude.
It's been so long since I've watched it, man.
That's a good movie, dude.
You know, I think I watched that before Jim Caviezel was even remotely famous.
Yeah, that was like kind of one of the roles I think that people were like, "Fuck yeah!" Dude, that was a great movie. I suggest you guys go back and watch it. It's kind of a movie that people have forgotten about. It came out in 2004.
Longer? No,
I think it was 2004, 2005. It was a good movie, dude. But so now he could totally fucking take the Mr. Reese thing and I would even watch a Person of Interest movie, dude.
My only problem is I don't feel like the show is far enough along to end yet. I feel like there's a lot of stuff kind of.
What if this was the last season and then they did a fucking feature length movie, a 2.5 hour long movie or 2 hour long movie, blockbuster style, pull out all the stops.
I mean, the season could potentially end
directed by Christopher Nolan.
Okay, that'd be badass.
That'd be so sick.
I mean, the series could potentially end with them stopping Samaritan, but I just feel like there's still, I guess it could go on indefinitely, man, because,
I definitely could. I mean, the show has been put together so well, and they've done a bunch of what is it called, bottle episodes as well, where the one where Reese is talking to Carter, and that was actually a really good episode.
They've done a lot of episodes like that, and a lot of other one-off episodes that you wouldn't really expect to be great because they're not part of the overlapping story so much, but they're still great.
I mean, but as far as the actors go, even Amy Acker is
oh, she's great.
She's kind of on another level from when they started out,
I miss her chemistry with Sarah Shahi on screen, though.
Sarah Shahi's not going to come back.
She's so sad.
What is she on now? What did I mention that she's on now? She's isn't it a Marvel thing or a DC or a DC thing? I don't know. I don't know. She's in some legit show now, but. You were yeah, that kind of makes me upset because it makes me think that she's not going to come back to Person of Interest.
Yeah.
But TV is so different. You could shoot both.
Oh, easily. Especially if they're shooting it right now. Person of Interest is probably barely writing episodes for this next season right now.
I just think that all of those actors are at that point where they should move on to kind of bigger, better things. They're all so good. And part of me is no, I want them to continue doing Person of Interest forever. I don't think it's the same thing for Supernatural. I don't see Jared Padalecki on the big screen,
I see Jensen, though.
Yeah, but I think that's... I do, too, but I don't think that he should be the Red Hood.
Why?
I don't know, man. I would like to see him as Guy Gardner, honestly. He could play a fucking badass Guy Gardner.
So the shows that Sarah Shahi's on right now is called Divine... Oh, no, this is a movie. This is a 2-hour movie. Yeah, it's almost 8 stars on IMDb. She's not in a show right now. Adventures of Beetle? That's a movie as well.
She's been announced for a new show.
It's just not in her credits yet. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So let's talk some movies. So Scoot McNairy, I thought there's a guy who's been cast in Batman vs Superman, and a lot of people are theorizing whether he might be playing Ted Kord, or whether or not we will see Blue Beetle in the cinematic universe at all. I mean, I think we should. I think it would be really awesome.
As Ted Kord?
Yeah. Did you hear the rumor that...
I want to see Jaime Reyes, dude.
Yeah, but I think...
Then El Paso would be in the DC universe. They would never shoot here, probably. They'd probably end up shooting in New Mexico or some bullshit.
But,
Texas has no film incentives.
What's it called?
Or shitty ones, at least. You're talking about Blue Beetle? Are we talking about Ted Kord? Are we talking about Ant-Man?
No, we were talking about Ted Kord. Oh, yeah, I was going to say... So Brandon Routh, who plays Ray Palmer, plays the Atom. Right. Apparently, before they even wrote the Atom into Arrow, it was supposed to be Ted Kord as Blue Beetle.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
But then they decided that they wanted it to be Ray Palmer instead.
I mean, they're both great characters.
Well, yeah, they're both billionaire superheroes.
Well, yeah, the DC universe is full of those. But so the Atom is in Blackest Night. The Atom is he gets a compassion ring. He becomes an indigo lantern. and he just because he's like so I don't know, full of compassion. But I don't really see that in the Brandon Routh. Like
no, it's very.
But
much...
he's not really a very developed character either. He's still kind of like, whoa, I'm getting the hang of this whole superhero thing, guys. Yeah. Whoa, Ollie, do you think that I could go out with you and fight crime? He's like the problem.
It's like you have no training, Ray.
All of the problem from all of these characters is that they're all like tortured to some extent, you know what I mean? Like,
which isn't necessary.
I mean, the Atom shouldn't be like completely tortured by like his past and be like vengeful, like I'm gonna go out and fight. Like that's all Batman. They're like all doing the Batman thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Ray Palmer is like he's had tragedy in his life, but he hasn't fucking he approaches it in a different way.
Well,
he's full of compassion,
The problem is the Ray Palmer we see on Arrow is not Dr. Ray Palmer from the comics.
Right,
I don't know. I feel like the character kind of doesn't do justice to him, even though I enjoy Brandon Routh as the Atom. I think it's cool.
I think that maybe they have a lot of development to go to, though. I think that the thing is, a lot of these actors are like not that huge of DC fans either. So they're just like they get casted because
except
they're interested
for
in
Ben
it.
Affleck.
I mean, yeah, Ben Affleck is into it, but I don't know, I don't think that Jesse Eisenberg is a huge DC fan. I think that he was just given the script and he's like, yeah, I'll play it. Mm-hmm. Like, I need work, And, I mean, come on. Like, so at Comic-Con, Aisha Tyler was like, oh, well, you have just the best locks of any Lex Luthor. It's like, bitch, Lex Luthor doesn't have locks. Like,
I think she knows that, man. She was making a joke.
I don't think so.
She did. She most definitely did.
She was also talking about, like, I don't know. She made some references. She's like, so Batman and Superman have, like, crossed paths a few times in the comics. It's like, it happens all the fucking time. They're in the Justice League.
They have their own fucking series.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Some of these people are not okay. Who's the other chick who plays Lois Lane?
Amy Adams, is that her name?
Yeah, she's like, I've wanted to play Lois Lane since I was a child. I was like, bitch, who wants to play Lois Lane? Like, I don't know.
I mean, she is kind of awesome, dude. Like, she's the one woman that Superman marries, I mean,
he's also really into Wonder Woman, though.
Yeah, but
they've had their fling.
But so is Bruce, like
Not Bruce and Wonder Woman don't have nearly as much of a history or.
But they've hooked up probably just as many times as Superman.
No way, they've hooked up a couple times, but Bruce is too self-involved, man.
Yeah,
like Bruce can't love anybody. Like
he just needs
Bruce
and
Catwoman,
the pipes, man.
Bruce and Catwoman is like the thing because they're both like doing their own thing, and they're never like, oh, we have to spend like Clark needs different things than Bruce does.
Yeah,
and there's no way that Wonder Woman could ever relate to Bruce Wayne the way that she would relate to Clark Kent. Because they're both fucking way more powerful than Batman. They're both outsiders.
Well, and then Wonder Woman also has her other love interest as well. Like she was.
What's his name?
She was engaged to Steve Trevor at one point.
Is he going to be in Suicide Squad?
Yeah, he's the guy who's. We see him in the trailer. He's leading them.
I wonder if they're even going to mention that he has a history with Wonder Woman, or if they're going to explore that at all.
I hope they do.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's quite possible they won't.
What was it? Isn't Apocalypse, right? Where they're like going off about that, and Steve Trevor or what? Which one was it?
You're thinking of the comics. Like in New 52 Justice League, there's a lot of shit
that Steve Trevor catches
because Steve Trevor is assigned as the Argus, the government liaison to the Justice League, right?
Yes.
So he handles all their interaction between the Justice League and the government. But then the Justice League is like, they don't want anything to do with the government anymore. So in the comics, Steve Trevor forms Justice League of America.
Is it Justice League? Justice Society's the old one.
Yeah.
And that's with Martian Manhunter and Green Arrow.
Correct. And like Vibe and all those other characters.
Vibe. Dude, I bet a bunch of chicks want to hook up with Vibe.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Get it? Ayo.
So let's talk some Marvel stuff. So at Comic-Con, we had a lot of big trailer reveals. We had Batman vs. Superman, which the HD version was released online literally right after. Suicide Squad. Apparently, Warner Bros. Was not happy that it was leaked via cell phone. So,
maybe it was like that was all a publicity thing too, though.
It doesn't seem like it, because they said the only reason they put out the HD one is because they didn't want people watching the shitty version one, because that wasn't even meant to be the real trailer. It was just a sizzle reel for Comic-Con. But I guess they just made it the real trailer and they put it out for HD. Fox has said that there are no plans to release the Deadpool or X-Men Apocalypse ones, which have leaked, and that they don't appreciate people recording them with their cell phones and leaking them out.
Sorry, Fox. You knew it was going to happen.
I think it was...
why even show the trailers or allow cell phones in there?
So Hutch Parker, who used to be the president of 20th Century Fox, he's now one of the producers on X-Men Apocalypse, he talks about how he doesn't sound very upset. He's like, we're going to put out a trailer soon anyway. Have you seen some of the other stuff that's going on with this movie?
With which one?
X-Men Apocalypse.
No.
First off, Psylocke. Have you heard of Psylocke? She's like one of the later X-Men.
What is her power?
She's got like telekinesis and
I think I know who she is.
What else? What else does she have? Yeah. Anyway, the Olivia Munn, who's playing Psylocke, claims that it takes 2 people to lube her up and like put her in her costume, which is apparently like skin tight. I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
That's kind of cool.
I saw the costume though, and it doesn't look like I expect for something that you needed to get lubed up into. I expected it to be really slutty, but it was actually.
She doesn't even look. She looks like Katana.
What?
Kind of.
Psylocke?
Yeah. Is this her right here?
Yes.
On the left?
Yes.
It's not really that, like... Why would she need to get lubed up? Maybe she should, like, lose a little weight or something.
Oh my god, you're a dick.
Well, I mean, like, why does she need to get lubed up?
Because I guarantee you the under part of it, like, the thing under all the armor or whatever, is, like, skin tight. Otherwise, it wouldn't take 2 people to lube her up and put her inside of it.
That's kind of hot. She's like, lube me up, guys. Lube me up. Apocalypse looks dope.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, like, Apocalypse looks more like... he's not as bulky as he is in the comics.
But he looks huge.
Yeah, and all the fans seem pretty happy with Psylocke and Apocalypse the way they look. They say they're pretty true to the comics.
Who is playing Apocalypse?
Good question. I have no idea. X-Men Apocalypse.
I mean, it's kind of cool that they're doing like a really sexual suit instead of like they're. I mean, you know that a bunch of SJWs are going to be like, "Oh my god, like why are you doing that?"
It's Oscar Isaac.
Who's that? But I think that's cool. Like, I would hope that they do the same thing for like Star Sapphire.
Yeah.
Or maybe this will be a thing like in the future. I mean, they should just portray superheroes the way that they should be portrayed. Olivia Munn is attractive.
Yeah.
She's not like an insanely busty woman either. It's not like she's not like porn star busty or anything, but she's attractive, so they're doing justice to it.
I mean, what's really awesome about this movie is all the casting they've done. I'm really excited to see what all these younger people bring to Fox's X-Men universe.
So who is this guy? Oscar Isaac? Has he been in anything before?
He's
really?
like relatively new on the scene, but apparently he's a pretty good actor. So
can I, since we're okay, I know that we're talking about Marvel, but this is another thing related to Comic-Con, and let me just ask you about this. Like, there's been a lot of weird vibes surrounding this. And I'm going to reserve my judgment, but the Ghostbusters, the all-female Ghostbusters.
I've seen the set photos. I like it. I mean...
You like it?
Yeah, it looks cool.
Like, but why is that necessary?
I don't know.
I mean, it could still be good. Why is an all-male Ghostbusters
Why
necessary?
is a Ghostbusters sequel necessary at all? Like, okay, the first one is a great movie. It's a cult classic, you know.
The second one is good, too.
Yeah, the second one's all right. A lot of the fans of the first one, like hardcore fans, really love the second one too.
I like the second one.
But I mean, I don't think I'm old enough to be like, yeah, I totally need a Ghostbusters sequel. My life will be complete.
I don't think that anyone's saying that.
Well, I'm sure people are.
I think it's like a revamp though. It's not a sequel. It's like a revamp.
It's like redoing the whole story.
Like the original Ghostbusters never existed.
Uh-huh.
Like this is like a new thing. Okay. And they're like, oh, but they're all female.
I could be in it. I mean, I don't know. I'll reserve my judgment for when it comes out.
They should have put like Aziz Ansari as one of the Ghostbusters.
Like Aziz Ansari, Melissa McCarthy,
all female, and Aziz Ansari.
Nick Swardson.
Why Nick Swardson? Why now you're just like Melissa McCarthy was not in Parks and Rec.
No.
Oh, Nick Swardson. I thought you were talking about Nick Offerman.
No.
Nick Offerman would be a good Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Nick Swardson would be pretty good too. They should have done like they could have mixed it up a little bit. That would have been cool.
Agree.
I would have. Melissa McCarthy is going to be good, but I watched Spy, and it was so bad. I thought
which is crazy because it has 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude, I thought it was so bad. Like there were some parts that were hysterical, like that totally laugh worthy, but I thought that it just felt really forced. And it's like, okay, they just keep putting Melissa McCarthy in these roles, like she has no. What's it called? Diversity, like no spread or whatever. And I mean, they're just totally typecasting this woman now. Yeah. Which is kind of fucked. I think that she could do some good stuff.
But she also did that movie with Bill Murray that was like kind of an indie movie, and she's doing Ghostbusters. I feel like she's definitely not being typecast.
Ghostbusters is going to be Melissa McCarthy from like all these other movies. Like,
no, it's not, dude.
You don't think so?
No. She's able to showcase herself as a pretty versatile actor. She's not just that, that one character,
That clumsy. Dude, there are some parts of Spy that are pretty funny. But, you know what, I might have to rewatch it.
I mean, did you ever see Identity Thief? It was not very funny.
Was that with her?
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch it.
That's probably her worst movie.
I mean, I thought that The Heat was okay.
Yeah,
it was just okay. Like I didn't think
it
was great.
It's got such a lousy co-star. Like Sandra Bullock is a great actress, but not in comedy. Like she can do Miss Congeniality, which is like a quirky romantic comedy kind of, but I don't know.
I mean, she's her foil in that movie though.
Yeah.
She's totally her foil. So I think that Sandra Bullock is not bad as far as that goes, but Sandra Bullock is not an actress I ever want to watch. So, which is kind of like that's kind of a mean thing to say.
Have you seen Gravity? It's actually really great.
Have you seen Speed?
Yeah, that's really old though.
Don't care. I'm not watching Speed is like if you go back and watch Speed, like what's his name, Dennis Hopper is like great.
But dude, I mean,
but then it's like Keanu Reeves and fucking
Keanu Reeves is the most like
one-dimensional,
deadpan, emotionless actor I've ever seen. Apparently, people say John Wick is like his only good movie besides the first Matrix.
You know what? I actually kind of liked him in Constantine. I didn't think he was bad. He's not a traditional Constantine.
I feel like that movie just sucked. It wasn't great.
What's her name? What was her name from fucking... Oh my god, she's been in like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Tilda Swinton's in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And isn't she like Lucifer or something? Or she's an angel. I don't know. But that movie was not that... There were some cool parts. Like they did showcase like some cool parts of like the dark, DC universe. They make really no reference to the fact that he is a DC character. It was just kind of a self-contained movie.
I hope
he fights devils and shit.
I wonder what's going to happen with Justice League Dark. Is that still going to be a movie?
I mean, Guillermo del Toro is like, I don't think he's even doing it. That guy is so widely spread.
Yeah.
Dude, he doesn't even know what he wants to do. He's like lucky to put shit, like, he's like, okay, this is what I'm going to work on.
I mean, he's lucky Silent Hills got canceled. He probably would, He would
have been wrapped up in that for 5 years.
Yeah.
But he wants to also make the new Haunted Mansion movie for Disney, and like...
But first he's got to finish Pacific Rim 2, and then he's got his TV show, and then he's like supposed to be doing Justice League Dark, and isn't he doing the Assassin's Creed movie? It's
he's like all over
what
the place.
The hell, man? What's going on here?
And it's funny that they want him so bad for all of these like properties.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy that they all want.
He's a genius, man. Like
his
writing is top notch.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there are a lot of other talented directors that could easily... I think that, okay, for two projects that he should definitely do, I think that he could do real justice to, like, the Disney's Haunted Mansion thing. Yeah. And make it creepy and really cool and a lot of fun. But, like, the last Haunted Mansion movie was fucking despicable. They were like, let's cast Eddie Murphy. And then the other... his wife is that woman who played, what's her name? Vanessa from Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Or Nissa.
The British chick?
Yeah. That's her, and she's like doing the worst American accent. And she's actually, you know what? I find her pretty likable across all roles, but Eddie Murphy is definitely like, he's like, whoa, what the fuck is this deal? Like, you know, it's like really, God, he's like totally like, Eddie Murphy in that movie.
Have you seen that terrible Eddie Murphy movie with Owen Wilson?
Which one?
The one where they're like spies.
Oh, I Spy.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That movie is horrible.
And he's like, Owen Wilson is like the good spy, right? And he's like, I gotta train you. And Eddie Murphy's like, why you gotta train me?
Eddie Murphy's like, Eddie Murphy starts off as like a boxer or something.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a boxer, why you gotta train me? What's another one? You know what? One of the good ones with Eddie Murphy kind of is, though, is, oh man, what's the one with Steve Martin and Heather Graham?
Goldfinger?
Is it? I don't think it's Goldfinger. Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Goldfinger has Eddie Murphy.
Goldfinger is James Bond.
No, Gold. Yeah, Goldfinger.
No, that's not it.
Yeah,
Goldfinger.
Yes.
Really? No, you're thinking of Golden Child. Bowfinger. That's what it's called. Bowfinger. Yeah. That movie was actually pretty good, where he like plays two characters, but he's like, Kit, keep it together. Do not freak out. Like,
I mean, I'm sure Bowfinger got terrible reviews.
Aren't they like, they're like shooting a porn with a guy that looks exactly like some huge movie star?
No, dude.
That's what that movie's about.
They're shooting a movie with this guy.
Oh yeah, it's a movie,
and
there's a sex scene in it though.
They want people to believe that he's
this famous actor. Yeah, exactly. That was not a bad movie. They had I don't know. It's probably totally rotten on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm sure it is.
But
so I didn't watch a terrible movie this week. I watched a pretty good movie, actually. I was,
80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I wasn't expecting it to be great, but it was.
What was it?
It's called The Good Lie. It's probably the best acting Reese Witherspoon has ever done in her entire life.
She is pretty good in a few different things.
But this is easily her best movie.
Unfortunately, she's an actress that's most well recognized, like Sandra Bullock, for Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
And Sandra Bullock's like Miss Congeniality. But I mean, those movies made them millions of dollars, so.
But this movie, The Good Lie, is about the Lost Boys of Sudan. I don't know if you've heard about, the orphans from the Sudanese Civil War. And it's about, this one group of them who relocates to the United States. And she's the person who helped find them a job. But she ends up, developing a closer bond with him. It was actually a really good movie.
Did you ever watch that movie, Election, with Reese Witherspoon? Election. That's one of her first movies. It's with Matthew Broderick. I've seen that. Oh, it's really good, dude.
Yeah.
It's 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
But she's, totally... she's the student body president or something like that of this high school.
Oh, wait. And she's trying to become the
student president.
Yes, okay.
And she's a total bitch.
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but where I saw it recently is it's on Netflix now.
Yeah,
they added it to Netflix.
She seduces the principal, or tries to, or some shit like that. Hey,
yeah.
But I'm sorry. So
go watch that on Netflix if you want. It's available for instant streaming.
So we were talking about Marvel before I cut us off and started talking about Ghostbusters and all of that bullshit, though. And so you were saying that there's some we watched a Marvel movie this week.
That's exactly what we're going to get into right now. We saw Ant-Man, of course. I mean, what other Marvel movie would we be talking about? It was really good.
With Tobey Maguire.
I actually liked it. I was a little upset that we missed the first 10 minutes.
We missed the first two. More like the first 2 minutes. Did we miss a lot of stuff?
I had someone... thank you to whoever this was on the Podcast Unlocked Facebook group, but they explained to me what we missed.
What did we miss?
Spoilers, if you haven't seen Ant-Man, shut off the podcast now, because we're going to finish it with Ant-Man, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, go away. So
Thanks for listening. What the fuck?
Well, you don't want to hear spoilers.
You don't want to hear spoilers, just get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
No thanks for listening. Don't tune in next week, or do.
So the first 10 minutes was all apparently young Hank Pym, and they used CGI to make Michael Douglas look really young. Everyone was like, it looked really convincing. That's what people were saying.
Really?
And it's all about him discovering the Pym particle and, developing the suit. And we saw him and Wasp, which I believe, was that...
That was his wife.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's ever been in the comics. It may have.
I think it has been.
I'm not too familiar with Ant-Man, besides his work with the Avengers in terms of the comics, but... I think it was really awesome. I literally loved everything about this movie. I have no complaints.
Yeah, the Wasp is from the comics for sure. They totally make her look like she looks way cooler in the comics.
Yeah,
but
I actually like the way she looked.
She appeared in 1963 for the first time, so she's been around for a long time.
Yeah, since the golden age of comics, pretty much.
Yeah, totally. So I have to say, like, I'm probably going to have to rewatch Ant-Man because I could not pay attention during the whole fucking movie.
We had a lot of reverse comedy too.
What do you mean?
Like when someone else in the theater thinks something is funny and they laugh at it, but it's totally not funny, it ruins the experience for you. That's reverse comedy.
I would like to go see it again in a theater when it's not so popular. It was super packed, and like the guy that I was sitting next to, let me just tell you guys, this was an experience, and I thought that I was in like the fucking Twilight Zone or something. It was disgusting. Like people, like, I think it's cool that you're able to eat in movie theaters. Like, I think it's great. It's like a new thing, but this guy ordered like a feast. Like he was literally enjoying himself to the extent where no one else, like, I was grossed out sitting next to this guy. Like, he had a burger, like a double meat burger, and like a huge large bucket of popcorn, a large drink, and he was like hovering his hand over the drink anytime he was going to take a drink, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, like, can you do that in a way that's like not so, and he was like, every time he drank, I could just hear him. It was like, like slurping, and then he was like breathing, like, like, but every time he took a bite and then burping, he burped through the whole movie, and I kept like leaning towards Alex. I was like, dude, I can't, like, and there were babies crying.
There was multiple children in the room.
The man passed gas in the movie twice, like noticeably. And I was like, dude, like, I wanted to, like, just look over and be like, guy, are you fucking serious right now, man?
It's disgusting.
Like, he was, he had, like, a deviated septum in his nose or something. Like, I kept hearing him, like snorting. And, like, dude, this is the grossest guy. And then there were parts where he was like, ha-ha, and, like, clapping and shit. And he was, like, it was not even, it's, like, okay, that's reverse comedy. Because, like, it totally took away from any, like, I might have laughed about it, but he'd be like, yeah, like, and then the guy next to him was like a total fanboy.
What I hated most was like some of the scenes which were really quiet, and like, you could hear them. When a movie gets quiet, it's because they're trying to put emphasis on something, and I'm trying to like listen.
Yeah.
And there's kids like talking and like
and laughing and screaming.
Yeah, and that's what bothered me the most. And fortunately for me, I didn't have to sit next to a burping, farting man. But
it wasn't even like those. Okay, the burps were really bad, but it was like the grunting and like the snorting and the fucking just the heavy breathing.
I think we went somehow we went at a bad time because there was another group of people in front of us, and this guy like kept literally through the whole movie he was banging his drink, like banging it
on the table. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
there was
how did the people that like if.
How did we go to a movie where it's like...
If I went to a movie with you and you were behaving like that, I would be like, dude, stop.
But these people were like cool with it.
Yeah, how do their friends or family not be like, shut the fuck up? Like, people are trying to watch a movie.
I don't know, man. Like, it seems like we sat in the area of the theater with the most obnoxious people.
We did.
Like, the guy, not only the guy next to me, and you're lucky that you did not sit next to him because you would have. He smelled like jalapenos too. And like when we stood up, I saw all of this popcorn that he had like. That he was eating so messy, like a bunch of popcorn was like on my side of the seat. I was like, I didn't even have popcorn, dude. Like, it was like, I don't know. But then there was the guy next to him, and Alex and I stuck around for the post-credit scene, right? And you and I were talking, and the guy next to us was like eavesdropping on our conversation, and decided he was like, well, I hope there's a post-credit scene, otherwise why are we? I was like, dude, okay, yeah, we're not talking to you, but And he was the guy in the movie who was like clapping, like, yeah, like, dude, that is so fucking obnoxious. Like, you're not at the legit premiere. If you were at the premiere with the actors, I'm sure that people would be like, oh, they'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, that we knew that was funny.
Yeah.
Like in LA, that's kind of acceptable, But in El Paso or like everyone there was like,
okay.
Come
you
on,
want to know
man.
my thoughts? The only time it's acceptable to clap at a movie is at the end.
I agree
If
with
the movie
that.
is good enough, then it deserves your applause at the end. Otherwise, fucking hold it in, man.
And like also like kind of, there were no parts of Ant-Man. There were some funny parts, but there were no parts where I was like laughing hysterically. It's not that kind of movie.
I was kind of glad that they didn't. The movie wasn't propped up on all those one-liners like some of the other Marvel movies have been. I felt like the story as it was, like as kind of the heist story that we talked about, is what kind of propelled the movie.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what they had intended.
I thought Paul Rudd was okay. I mean, he was pretty good actually.
He was quite good. They like, it's funny. Okay, so they make his sidekick basically Anthony,
which is a carpenter ant that can fly.
And through the whole movie, I was like, this is dumb.
He's like, I'm gonna call you. I actually like that.
Okay, but when Anthony died, I was like, no. And I was
spoiler alert, he died. Yeah.
But I don't know if that's like a part of the comics, like Anthony.
I don't think so.
That is like the dumbest name, though. Like,
I mean, I think, I liked the movie for what it was, and I was excited.
There were clever ideas.
I was excited Hank Pym as a character was even in the movie, because I expected just for this whole thing to be about Scott Lang,
I don't know if it was because we got in there late, or because it actually was kind of slow, but I felt like the first 10 minutes were like slow.
Oh, I felt the first 45 minutes was a little slow.
Yeah, I was like, I was kind of struggling to get into it.
I thought the movie was longer than it was. It was less than an hour long.
It's definitely like, this movie it's not Guardians of the Galaxy, which like when I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, fuck yeah, from like the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like everything was so fucking dope. But this one, it was definitely different. Like, they weren't trying for the same thing. They wanted to offer you something else. Like,
you know how I was kind of upset because I was like, oh, this is the start of Phase 3. I can't remember if we've talked about this or not, but Ant-Man was actually moved to be the last movie of Phase 2.
It was?
Yeah, so Civil War is actually going to be the start of Phase 3.
Well, that makes a lot more sense.
Totally.
This movie was totally self-contained.
The only, interaction he had with the Avengers was with Falcon. Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie, he's like, yes, I get to be in all the Marvel movies.
Like, that guy is, the least interesting Avenger and actor, by the way. I think that, they could... come on, man. Like everyone would have tripped out way harder if you would have had Vision or Robert Downey Jr. doing.
I would have
some
liked to
short
see
thing.
Scarlet Witch. That would That would have been a perfect opportunity, because how would her powers work against someone who's this big?
Yeah, that would be a whole movie in and of itself.
Yeah,
but no, that would have been really cool.
Or Thor.
Or the fucking Hulk.
Yeah.
But
Hulk is gone, remember?
Yeah.
He flew away on the plane.
Which made no sense.
Off to Planet Hulk.
And they made a lot of references to the Avengers too, which is good, because they're reminding you that, hey, this is taking place during the same time. The Avengers aren't too busy dropping cities out of the sky.
Yeah.
So it's okay, you've seen Age of Ultron.
Well, okay, so apparently what we missed in the beginning too had what's his name? Howard Stark. Agent Carter and whatnot.
We saw her.
And Hank Pym was part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And he left S.H.I.E.L.D. because of, he wasn't happy with them.
We saw an old Agent Carter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that was supposed to be 10 years prior to the events here. So she's...
No, it was supposed to be 30, 40
really?
years.
Oh, that's why she's
because
so
he was one of the first pseudo Avengers,
Yeah.
He fought during World War II as Ant-Man. But it was a secret. They kept it a secret.
So what are they going to do? That's what I was thinking is when we were watching all of that footage where what's his name was talking about, he was well, you're telling me that this is all fake?
Corey Stoll,
yeah,
who plays Peter Russo from House of Cards.
He was like, you're telling me that this is all fake, and it's footage of him fighting in World War II.
Yeah.
I was like, are they going to make an Ant-Man movie from the past
or
something?
Please do not.
Yeah, I don't want to see that shit. I thought that
they've already committed to Michael Douglas being old and Ant-Man being gone as Hank Pym. Let's just focus on Scott Lang, and everything will be all right.
Okay, I have to ask about this. Is Lana Lang from the Marvel Universe? Is that a character? Given Stan Lee's propensity for naming people with the same initials at
first and last names, then probably yes.
Oh, no. Sorry. Lana Lang is my bad. Lana Lang is from DC Comics.
Really?
Yeah, Lana Lang is that woman. Oh my god, she's the woman from the fucking... it's because you didn't watch it. Dark Knight Returns, she's all fat.
I've seen Dark Knight Returns.
You have? The Frank Miller one?
Yeah, the two-parter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
She's a reporter.
Uh-huh.
But she's also a love interest of Superman, I think.
Yeah.
And that's all I was thinking the whole time. I was like, is that Scott Lang's daughter?
And you know what's funny is you would think it would be Marvel because, like, you know,
yeah,
Matthew Murdock. I can name 100 of them.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you...
Matthew Murdock. Let's think of some of the other ones.
What? Matthew Murdock?
2 M's.
MM? Oh, Lana Lang. But Matthew Murdock is Marvel. Oh, right on. Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Okay, I totally understand what you're saying. I thought that you were making some kind of reference to the fact that they were related to DC.
This was totally a bit from The Big Bang Theory, but we can steal it. Hulk, Bruce Banner.
Ah, yes.
Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. Invisible Woman, Sue Storm. Stephen Strange. Otto Octavius. Silver Surfer. Peter Parker. J. Jonah Jameson Jr.
Okay, so let me say...
Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah, let me say, there was, like, kind of a supernatural aspect almost, too. Like, it was scientific, but to Ant-Man, where... they, like, the whole shrinking into atomic size or whatever. I was thinking of, like, Doctor Strange, almost, where he's, like, he can hear, like, Hank Pym in his head, and he's, like, stuck forever and ever and ever, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I was, like, thinking, that kind of made me excited for the Doctor Strange movie, because he, like, kind of goes to other dimensions and shit.
Yeah, he could potentially go to that subatomic dimension or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. I think so.
I really liked all of the movie. I don't think I have a complaint.
Okay, so there was, like, his sidekick, who's, like, that dude Luis or whatever. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Who, like, that guy's ridiculous.
I loved when he would, like, tell his stories.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is, like, that was probably one of the most clever comedic parts of the movie.
Yeah.
And they really milked that. But that guy is, like, not very funny on his own. Like, he's just so fucking awkward.
He's a great supporting actor is what he is.
He's really awkward, though. And, like, his facial expressions are, like...
what about T.I.? T.I. was his other sidekick.
Did not enjoy that.
Why?
There was, like, one cool part where T.I., like... he goes and drives the cop car, and I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. But, like, T.I. was, like, anybody could have played that role, dude.
Yeah.
And they could have easily gotten someone who's, like, a little bit more, like, comedic, you know? They would have, like, better timing or something like that. Like, how cool would it have... I think it would have been better to see, like, God, what the fuck is his name? T.J. Miller or some shit doing that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, someone funny. Like, legitimately funny. Like, T.I. is not funny, dude.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart would have been hilarious. Like, that would have been so insanely funny, but you know what? Maybe they want it, like, Kevin Hart would turn it down.
Or maybe they're saving him for, like, a specific part in the Marvel Universe.
Maybe not. God,
I really like the ending, too. Like, so Evangeline Lilly's character, Hope Pym, is going to become a superhero
That
as
was
well.
the first post-credit.
Oh, the first post-credit scene, yeah.
She's hot, but she looks so old in this movie.
Yeah.
She looks pretty old. And there was, like... I like that they didn't dwell on the fact that they had, like, this father-daughter, you know, butting heads or whatever. Because at one point I thought that she was going to go, like, dark side.
At the beginning of the movie, that's what I thought. But
she's, like, controlling the ants and shit.
No, I didn't think that.
You know when she's like covering up the bulb and he's like, oh! And she's like, oh, shit.
Well, yeah, she was trying to make a point that Scott was not ready as she was. But I felt at the beginning when you see her with Corey Stoll's characters, when I'm like, what was his name?
I don't know, man. But he was, like, not even that. He, like, I don't know.
He was okay.
He was all right.
He was a very middle-of-the-road character.
They totally could have... I mean, the thing is, this was a heist movie, and he was not, like, a solid villain. Like, he wasn't planning on... you know, he was just a businessman.
He wasn't really a true villain until the last, like, third of the movie.
He didn't... Well, I mean, it was literally, like, the last 15 minutes. Like, he didn't pose that big of a threat, and he... Like, I was like, put the suit on, put the suit on, put the suit on, you know? Finally they did... And it was cool, but okay. So let me talk about this real quick. Like there was like no love interest in my opinion for Scott Lang and Hope, like at all until they start making out at the end. And then and then they like write in Michael Douglas is like, "You're full of shit," which is like everyone's like, "Oh, he said shit." You know?
Language,
dude. There was like, yeah, right. And that guy next to us was like, "Oh, like he's full of shit."
What about the second post-credit scene? It was Falcon telling. Who was he telling about Ant-Man?
Captain America.
Yeah, he was telling.
But they're in front of fucking Bucky.
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Bucky Barnes. That's another one.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so they're in front of him and they're like, I think I know a guy who can fix him. Which like, what does that even mean? Like, what's wrong with him?
After the events of Winter Soldier, like Hydra was experimenting on him.
So he needs to go he needs to go like atomic or subatomic and like fix him or something.
I'm not
fix
sure.
His brain.
I'm not sure what their plan is, but he's got problems after Hydra fucked with him. That's for sure.
So we're thinking what Falcon's going to be the next Captain America.
I mean, that's pretty much how it is in the
comics.
In the comics, Sam Wilson is Captain America right now, I believe.
And Thor's a woman.
Thor is a woman.
Who like? Do you think that's going to happen?
It's
on
Jane
screen?
Foster.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So what? Who plays Jane Foster? Is that Natalie Portman? So we're going to see Natalie Portman become Thor.
Please no.
We haven't even seen her since like the first movie.
No, she was in the second Thor movie.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
And so what's the next thing on the Marvel list? It's going to be next year, right? And that's Civil War?
That's part of the cinematic universe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not till Civil War. But in 2 weeks, we get the Fantastic Four reboot.
That's not even part of the MCU.
No,
though.
that's part of Fox's
That's
universe.
in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be good. I'm
kind
of excited to see
There's a
that.
bunch of movies coming out in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
So, do you think, like, I wonder if Marvel had owned all of their properties, would they put out more movies per year? Or do you think that we would still have to wait? Like, we would probably have to wait till, like, 2017 to see the Fantastic Four.
Probably, because you gotta assume Fox is footing the bill for all those that aren't part of the MCU. You know?
I mean, but realistically, like, Disney and Marvel know that they're going to make money off of these releases.
I mean, I don't know, man. Ant-Man cost $130 million to make. I don't think it's made even $50 million at the box office.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, the theater
That's
was
kind
pretty
of scary.
Packed.
It's scary for the future because if
Ant-Man
they're not making money off the movies, there's going to be no incentive to make smaller movies. Like even calling Ant-Man a smaller movie is kind of fucking stupid. But in comparison to Avengers and
Ant-Man is a smaller character, literally.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But yeah,
So
no, I mean,
clever.
what other characters are there that I mean, like, I don't know. As far as like,
they're doing like. Okay, say for instance this movie doesn't do well, are they going to be like, we should cancel the Inhumans movie and like a couple of these other, like the Black Panther movie and like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't even want to see that though.
I'd watch Inhumans movie in a heartbeat if we get to see the actual Inhumans, not the ones we've seen on.
Yeah,
Agents
I'm
of
down
S.H.I.E.L.D.
with that, but I don't really care about a Black Panther movie.
No, me neither.
I mean, I think a Doctor Strange movie is going to be sick because that's like a different. He's a big character.
But like Black Bolt is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe who's not like a galactic being.
But do people even care about that?
I mean, I kind of do. The Inhumans culture is kind of crazy because they've got the Council of Elder Inhumans who like rule over their culture, and it's like.
Let me tell you though, this is why Inhumans will probably work like over these other movies. Inhumans is going to be a group of badass OP characters.
Yeah.
Look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Group of badass like knick-knack OP characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what people are going to go. They're going to want to go see. Ant-Man doesn't provide you with that. Ant-Man is basically a heist movie where you get
someone who's taking on the Ant-Man suit for the first time.
What are the selling? It's an origin story.
Yeah.
What are the selling points of Ant-Man of this movie? Like this last one that we watched, we got Paul Rudd, and people are like, "Well, yeah, he's a funny guy."
I thought some of the awesome parts where they were like going through all the species of ants and like how he unites them to like work for him.
That's cool.
Like at the part where he uses all the fire ants to like build him a ladder out of that sewage pipe and shit.
I mean, hey, the movie was cool, but like the selling points for someone who knows nothing about Ant-Man when they're watching it, they're going to be like, well, Michael Douglas is good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Evangeline Lilly, most people don't know who she is. They think that she's like, okay, she's the hotter Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
You know, or she was in Lord of the Rings. She looks like Liv Tyler, dude, in my opinion. I don't know. When I saw her she's in The Hobbit, right?
Yeah, she's Toriel.
Yeah, and I was like, that's Liv Tyler.
No.
And then I was like, oh shit, it's not Liv Tyler. But so what else is gonna the guy who's the villain is the dude from House of Cards. He's basically unknown to people who don't watch House of Cards. So
well, he's been in a couple. Since House of Cards, he's been in like 3 big blockbuster hits.
Which ones?
He was in Nonstop with Liam Neeson, which actually did pretty well and wasn't a terrible movie. And he was in Ant-Man, and he was also in a couple other movies.
Well, but this movie is definitely like a bigger thing. Paul Rudd is much bigger than he is.
Oh, easily.
Paul Rudd is a big comedy like star. You know what I mean? And this is his first thing as an actor. Dude, okay, wait. So also Paul Rudd, like they made all these points of being like, yeah, we got him jacked for this movie or whatever, and they like they didn't even do anything for that. Like he looked like so normal. Paul Rudd looked normal, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was like more cut.
Yeah. I mean,
Corey Stoll, do you remember him in Homeland? He was Sandy Bachman.
Oh, yeah. He died, like, real quick.
He was in one episode, and he died in it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was like the start of season 4, I think.
Yeah, and that's going to come back soon. Oh, did you know? Okay, so Mandy Patinkin was in The Princess Bride?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Isn't he the guy who's like, you killed my father?
Prepare to die.
Yeah, isn't that him?
I can't remember. I just know he's in it.
He's like, my name is
Inigo Montoya.
Inigo Montoya. Yeah, isn't dude? I'm pretty sure that is Mandy Patinkin. Yes, it is.
He's also in you know the show Criminal Minds? Like when that first started, it was Mandy Patinkin, and he was the lead actor on the show. Imagine him without his beard. He looks completely different, and that's what he looked like on Criminal Minds. But most of the actors who worked with him hate him. He's like one of the most hated actors in Hollywood.
Yeah, a lot. Well, that's like, okay, what was that show that I was watching and they were talking about? They were like, oh, at least we didn't get Mandy Patinkin for this. Like they made a total thing about that. He's going to be in Get Smurfy. There's a Smurf movie coming out called Get Smurfy. I would kind of like to see Mandy Patinkin
as a Smurf.
No, in like one of the Marvel movies. Would be kind of cool.
He could have played fucking Obadiah Stone.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know, or like, what if he was?
But Jeff Bridges was great.
Who do you think they're gonna cast as Ted Kord
in the DC universe?
Yeah,
it's gotta
be an older dude.
No, I feel like they're gonna do a younger Ted Kord.
Oh really?
Yeah. Otherwise, there'd be like
Ted Kord. Like I think Ted Kord around like 45.
What if they just did the same exact thing as Ant-Man, and it's like Ted Kord
and
passing
Jaime
off
Reyes.
the Scarab to Jaime Reyes?
No, well, Ted Kord doesn't even have the Scarab.
No, he dies and the Scarab goes away.
I don't think he ever had the Scarab. The Scarab is alien technology. Or yeah, actually, he developed it.
Yeah.
With alien technology, but he never wore it. He was just developing it.
He was a normal guy, but he did wear it at some point.
Dude, the Scarab is like parasitic.
Yeah.
It like takes control of you.
Symbiotic.
Yeah.
No, it's symbiotic, not parasitic.
Okay, but he was like, Ted Kord was kind of like Batman in the sense that he was like a genius and a human. Like he didn't have like the exoskeleton like Jaime Reyes does.
He was a scientist more so than Batman was.
Batman is totally a scientist too.
He's He's the world's greatest detective.
But he's good at science. Dude, he's good at science, bro.
Kind of, but
he's got the Batcave.
Dude, whenever he needs something highly scientific done, he always passes it off to Lucius Fox or Oracle or like someone else, you know?
He's like, I don't know how to do this.
But he's the world's greatest detective.
I mean, detectiving requires lots of science, dude. Haven't you ever watched CSI?
You know what I miss from
crime science investigation? You
know what I kind of miss from Flash is like, do you remember
the very beginning when you could see like the footprints and shit?
He was like Sherlock Holmesing. Like he would see like things other people couldn't, and it would help him solve the crime. You know.
You know what's funny is someone actually mentioned this fairly recently, and they were like, "I'm so glad they didn't continue doing that."
Why?
But awesome. I thought that it was fucking cool.
It is.
Like it makes Barry way more human, and now they just focus on this other stuff. I kind of hope that they bring it back.
Well, I mean, at one point in the comics, he becomes the director of the Central City Police Department. Like, being being a police officer and like solving crimes is a big part of his life as well. He's not just the Flash.
Yeah. Oh, Barry's like totally scientific.
Oh yeah, he's a scientist too.
But that's how he even got the Speed Force powers, is the chemicals.
But you know what's stupid is, like, fucking Ray Palmer is supposed to be one of the smartest people in the entire DC universe, but
he's so dumb.
In the show, he is not.
He can't see anything.
He needs, like, Felicity to help him with things.
Yeah.
Felicity's a hacker, like...
Yeah, Felicity is a hacker. But I don't know, Felicity is totally a character that I'm kind of over, too.
Well, you're not the only one.
I kind of, like, I think, I don't know if they should kill her, but I would like to see, like, a different character arc for her or something.
I'd just like to go back to, like, season 2 Felicity.
I feel like every time she shows up in The Flash, too, it's like, we're getting coffee over at Jitters. It's like, okay, Felicity, like...
Like, here's my boyfriend, Ray Palmer.
Are they still dating?
No.
She
left with Oliver.
Oh, God, and I hate that. She's such an ancillary character, though. I mean, like, Ollie needs to get with fucking Black Canary, man. Yeah. Like, that's like...
It'll happen eventually, I think.
I mean, they have, like, such an on and off relationship. Like, she wants to bang Dick, you know?
Dick?
Dick Grayson.
Black Canary? Oh.
Yeah. Not like Bangkok.
Dude.
Bangkok.
No, she's attracted to him because he's, like, young and virile. That's why she's
she's attracted to him because every female character in the DC universe wants to bang Dick Grayson.
And
he's,
that's
like, the biggest player.
And that's why he's so full of himself. Like, Alfred comments on why Dick is, like...
Okay, Dick is the shit, man.
No, he is.
Nightwing is, like, one of my favorite fucking DC characters. No bullshit. He's awesome.
One of my favorite parts of Arkham Knight was when you would get to team up with Nightwing.
Is he super cocky?
He's like, God damn it, Batman, you never let me fucking help you. He's like, I'm just gonna go back to Bloodhaven.
Are all of the, like, did they do good, like, some justice to the characters in that, like, as far as their portrayals?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I really love that, like, the Catwoman-Batman relationship is great as well.
Do you know who voiced Catwoman?
It's the same chick who voiced her in... Oh, what was it? Here, I'll tell you real quick, but...
I mean, I would like to see some fucking Nightwing action, this BVS. That would be super dope. If I mean, why would they...
Well, you know who voiced James Gordon?
No.
Jonathan Banks. He's Michael Ehrmantraut from...
oh shit!
Breaking
That's
Bad.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he was actually really good.
I could see him as Gordon as well. He could do a good job.
His voice, man, is just perfect for Gordon. Catwoman.
Like
it's Grey Griffin. She's voiced a bunch of DC characters, man.
Can't even see her.
Oh,
it's so he showed me the tiniest. She's good looking, dude. Okay. I would like to see, I mean, honestly, if Jason Todd is dead, then that means that Nightwing must exist in the BVS universe, right?
I hope that's the case.
Like, they haven't announced anything about that. And there has to be, if Jason Todd, then that means that there has to be also Tim Drake.
Yeah.
Like,
or it could be, like, before Tim Drake has even been found.
But then that means that there has to be Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
There can't be Jason Todd without Dick Grayson.
No,
if they totally just throw that away, I'm going to be kind of pissed off. And they're like, oh, yeah, Jason Todd was the first Robin. So, Dick, you're the new... Like, the Flying Graysons is, like, a big thing.
You know what would piss me off even more is if they really stick to the Dark Knight Returns stuff and we get Stephanie Brown.
Oh, no! Oh, that would be so bad, man. And you know what? They said that it's a totally different story, but on the panel, they were like, oh, I'm so influenced by that.
Well, that's what Zack Snyder said.
That's one of the worst... I'm going to catch so much flack for it. So many people do love it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Like, I think that there's
people love the comic more than they love the animated feature.
Okay, I've never read the comic.
Yeah.
But the animated feature, like, I thought was kind of garbage.
I don't like it either.
Like, I think that there are way better Batman stories.
Batman is too, like, old and buff in that animated thing. He's, like, ridiculously buff. He looks like Solomon Grundy buff.
Nah.
Yeah.
But, dude, you know what? They have him in the fucking mech suit way too much.
Well, he's got the tank. No, he's got the tank in that one. The mech suit is from Batman vs. Robin.
Dude, he has... No. Okay, wait. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yes. But he has... It's a different, like, mech suit, though, for The Dark Knight Returns, because in the second one where he's fighting Superman, he has, like, it's like a superimposed... Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes his body stronger so he can actually fight Superman.
Yeah.
It's not the big fucking mech suit. Which is super dope.
The super big one he needs to use against the Court of Owls, because that's like his only line of defense.
I mean, that would be such a great story to see on screen, too. And then when, like, if they at some point ever did Endgame, which, like, Jared Leto would be kind of perfect for, he has to go and visit the Court of Owls again.
Do you remember Jared Leto with the camera picture? And he's got the camera. It's like he's recreating a panel from The Killing Joke.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like Joker's origin story, pretty much.
That's not the same Joker, though. I don't know.
No, but that's Joker's origin story, The Killing Joke.
Yeah, well, but the Joker's origin is also like totally. They don't know what his real origin is.
They changed it in Endgame.
No, but in general, the Joker's origin is unknown. Like, people have said that, okay, some people have said, in The Killing Joke, he's a comedian, right?
Right, and he becomes, he's forced to take up the mantle of, not the mantle, but the...
Red Hood?
He's forced to become Red Hood,
But some people have argued that that's not actually the Joker.
But that's the continuity that carried over to the New 52.
Is it really?
It is.
I mean, but he says that the story's changed, though. Like, he says sometimes I remember it one way and sometimes I remember it another. Like, the Joker even says that. This is all coming from the Joker's mouth. Like, the way, or from his head.
We see that in Heath Ledger's Joker, too, where he tells, like, multiple different stories about how he got his scars.
I like that. I'm so sick of people making that connection, though, and being like, the dog chasing cars. Like, I'm so sick of it. That doesn't make any sense.
What is that?
They say that that's what Heath Ledger's Joker is. They're like, oh, he's just a dog chasing cars. Like, he's all about anarchy. It's like, dude, you never even read Batman. Like,
well, I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker was more of an anarchist.
He was, but and then what was Jack Nicholson was the gangster, and then who else played the Joker?
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
The one they put by. Okay, the way I saw it, it was like. What's
Did you see that panel?
Caesar.
Oh, he was the clown.
The clown, and then the gangster, and then the anarchist, and then I love how now.
Jared Leto was the psychopath.
The psychopath, but then someone took that, and then they put next
Mark
to
Hamill,
it,
the Joker.
The Joker, yeah.
He is the Joker, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
anyway, that's our show. We've talked forever. Go watch Ant-Man.
Go ahead and plug some shit real quick.
I'm Downlow'd. That's DOWNLOW''D. Where you can find my information at facebook.com/officialdownload and see all of the dumb, awesome things that I post. And if you don't mind, if you're into my music, go ahead and drop me a vote in the DJ Mag Top 100. It would really mean a lot. Trying to see what happens with that. You'll see me in next month's issue of DJ Mag. So go out and pick up a copy. And I'm on Twitter. You can tweet me at Downlow'd here and tell me how much you love or hate me, or want to kick me in the face. Or check out my music on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/download. That's DOWNLOWD. Sorry for dragging this on for so long. I'm just thinking about all these different things.
You're good. Let's talk about this real quick. Someone has left us a review. Our first review. Thank you very much to Will Foxy. Let's go ahead. We can read it.
It's like you guys are terrible.
No, okay. So the main guys, Alex and Downlow'd, he spelled it DOWNLOAD ? Because he seems to be unsure as to how it's spelled.
It's DOWNLOW''D.
There you go. The main guys give an informative yet conversational interpretation of their topics. After the first few minutes of the podcast, you smell the reefer in the air, and I don't even know if these guys smoke. The stoner slacker vibe is prevalent though at times. They lose focus from the topic at hand and go off on hilarious conjecture. Additionally, they build rapport effectively by not forcing punchlines and rolling with some minor missteps. So thank you for your review, Will Foxy.
We appreciate it.
Much appreciated. If you enjoyed the show, please go leave us a review on iTunes. It'll help get the show into the ears of other listeners.
There's no reefer in the air here, though, guys, by the way. I just want to let you guys know that. There's definitely not. I am hungover, though.
Okay.
I had some Ruby Reds and soda last night.
Go to our website, thisismacro.com. It's the hub for all things macro records. Over the next month or so, we're going to be seeing some major changes to the website, so if something doesn't look right, don't be alarmed.
It's going to look tight.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to pick up Castra's Move Your Feet remix EP out today exclusively on Beatport.
We got the Alien remix. It's gigantic. You got the Downlow'd remix. Not so gigantic, but good. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And here's my remix.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you next week.
Get down tonight.